Okay, that was upsetting. All right, welcome to another little less exciting edition of Go Pack Go All Day. And I'm your host, Vinny B. So the Packers roll into Philadelphia to take on the Philadelphia Eagles, the 2 seed. The Packers are the 7 seed. They go in there and they lose 22-10. Sadly. Opening drive, catastrophe. Keyshawn Nixon didn't hold the ball tight enough. He just let the ball go out of his hands, popped it out, fumble. And then the refs, the Zebras, go out there and they review what happened. Clear as day, the Packers had recovered the ball. Keyshawn Nixon had the ball. But because the guy with the white cap, I don't know what his name is, I don't know where he's from, some way, somehow says that the Eagles recovered the football. So I was not happy about the opening drive of the punt return in this game. So basically the Eagles got the ball at the 30 freaking yard line. They only needed 30 yards and they go in for the touchdown. Jahan Dotson, the Packers were not even putting pressure on the quarterback at the very start of the game. So Jalen Hurts had all day to throw this football to Jahan Dotson in the end zone. Then the Packers, they get the ball back, and they do another 3 and out. They do a 3 and out as their first drive. They didn't do anything there. Then the Packers have also thrown they had 2 interceptions in this game, okay? I've never seen a Packers team that has thrown 2 interceptions and came back and won a game in the playoffs. So, some way, somehow, Jake Elliott goes in there and scores a field goal. So at this point, it's 10-0. Then the Packers, they get the ball back. They drive the ball all the way down the field. They were moving the ball nicely right before the half. They get to the 20-yard line, and it gets to 4th down, and McManus misses a field goal, okay? So the Packers had an opportunity for this game to be 10-3 at the half, but it didn't happen, sadly. So it's 10-0 at the half. 10-0 at the half, you're thinking, okay, the Packers are down, but it's not out of reach. They had opportunity after opportunity to come back and win this game. The Packers stopped the Eagles on their opening drive. Then the Packers get the ball back, and they were just cruising down the field. Okay, they got all the way down the field, and so they couldn't get the touchdown, but Brandon McManus lands the field goal. So at this point, 10-3, okay. Packers only down by 1 touchdown. This game is not out of reach at this point. Then, some way, somehow, the Packers give up some yardage, and the Eagles score a touchdown. But the Eagles missed the kick. So the Packers are only down by 13 at this point. Then the Packers wake up a little bit in the 4th quarter. Oh my God, the Packers wake up in the 4th quarter. Who could have seen this happen? Packers just drove the ball down the field. Josh Jacobs was unbelievable. Gets a touchdown. And okay, the Packers are only down 16-10. 16-10, and then the Eagles get the ball back, and the Packers couldn't stop the Eagles. They just kept driving their car down the field, and the Eagles get a field goal, and at this point, it's 19-10 with 7.5 minutes left in the game. Packers had several injuries in this game. They lose Jaden Reed. They lose Romeo Doubs, so you got your 2 top receivers out of the game. Also, the Packers lost Elgin Jenkins in the very beginning of the game. That was tough. They get their center injured, so they had to bring in Monk as a backup. At the same time, the Eagles got a little bit banged up too defensively. Slay got hurt, and then some guy named Dean, I guess. I don't know what his name is. Anyway, the Packers, for the most part, were containing Barkley, even though, it's really tough to stop Barkley. The guy is a very powerful running back, and also Josh Jacobs is a very powerful running back. So Josh Jacobs had 81 rushing yards and 40 receiving yards, with Jaden Reed as the top receiver with 46 yards. Dontavian Wicks was looking pretty good. Pretty good. So this game, the officiating wasn't down the middle from the very start. I thought that the Packers had that football in the opening drive, but at the same time, you can't put the blame on that completely. The Packers didn't turn the page on that moment. It kind of got in their head for the whole first half. And then they were making some really dumb decisions towards the end in the fourth quarter, okay? They were tackling the Eagles in the out-of-bounds area, so that kind of they just took a knife and kind of shoved it into their heart even harder at that point, and just, when the whistles blow, you got to stop, number 93 of the Packers. You got to stop. You got to let them, you got to stop what you're doing. So, Packers here, I don't know what they're going to do in the offseason. I don't know who's going to stay on this team, but also Matt LaFleur calling some really dumb calls. 3rd and 3, and Josh Jacobs is not on the field. You don't run the ball up the middle, dude. You don't run the ball up the middle. Yeah, your receivers are all banged up, but you still have Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft. You could have had both those guys out there and threw a short pass at one of those guys. Also, a lot of blame there. I wouldn't put a lot of blame on any one thing, but multitude of things cost the Packers this game, okay? Jordan Love, he did not play like a Super Bowl caliber quarterback in this game. The guy is making $50 million a year. This whole, let's pay the quarterback this amount of money, that amount of money, it just removes their motivation to play well in these games, okay? The guy's making $50 million a year. He did not play to win this game. You can't throw the ball in triple, quadruple coverage and expect to win the football game. Eagles are one of the top defenses in the league. And yeah, the Packers got a good defense here showing. But god dang, dude, play smart. Throw the ball with precision where it needs to be so that only your receiver can catch the football. Running game was good, but god dang, if you're down in a hole 10-0, it makes it really tough to come back in these types of games. So Packers, their season is over. So they got to look on and move on to the draft and see what they can do. See what they can do with free agency. See what they can do to improve this football team. At the corner position, Keyshawn Nixon making dumb decisions. Dude, you got to hold that ball tightly. We re-signed Keyshawn Nixon because he was a really good punt returner. Clearly, he did not do it here in this playoff game, okay? Smart playing needs to happen for this team to play good in the future. But a lot of credit to the Eagles. Even though they got banged up too. Saquon Barkley is a beast. Saquon Barkley is a beast in this game. I thought that Jalen Hurts would have struggled quite a bit, but the Packers did not get to him, not to the second half of this game, okay? You're not going to win games if you don't put pressure on the quarterback. He's going to sit in that pocket and have all day to throw that football. So even if the Packers won this game, the way they played, they would have no chance of beating the Detroit Lions, okay? So good luck to the Eagles. The Eagles don't have to face the Detroit Lions, so whoever the lowest seed goes up against the Detroit Lions. So good luck to that team, and good luck to the AFC. So moving forward, Packers are done. All right, so that's all I got to say. Hit that like and subscribe button, and go Pack Go all day, even though they lost. Actually, Jordan Love had 3 interceptions in that game. You can't win games with 3 interceptions.